Last week, Mike and I managed to get the run flats installed on the Humvee. This week, we have a little bit bigger project. Welcome back to another week here on the Humvee rebuild. We got the tires mounted, we've got a lot of the engine work done, and now one of the biggest steps that we need to do that we've just been putting off is the transmission swap. So right now it has a 3-speed transmission in it, and which is fine, but it'll go about 60 miles an hour, but the RPM is high, so it's about 3,500 RPM, so it's just really cranking the engine pretty hard. So what I'm going to do is switch it to a 4L80, and that is a 4-speed transmission out of another Humvee. So yeah, I mean, we've got all the parts. So Black Dog Customs, shout out to them. They make all of the components in the wiring harness and everything to dial it in, the cross member, the dipstick, just all of the stuff they have. And then I've already got the transmission. So really the first step is going to be to get out the old transmission. Go ahead and drop that out, everything from the exhaust stack. There's a lot of stuff that has to come off of that. Drop it down and then get the new one up in there. So no better time than now to get started on it. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the inside, take the doghouse off, get under there, drain the pan, and see if we can loosen up some of these bolts and get it ready to be dropped. I don't think this thing's gonna fall, but it could. So right now we got the transmission fluid dumping out, and then my dad's back here working on the rear drive shaft, getting that one out, and then we have this other one on the front half of the transfer case, which is right here. So we're gonna get the drive shafts out and then drop the transfer case and then the cross member, and then we should have access to the transmission. That's a fast one, you know. What are you?
A Russian ship.
What? Rome, are you gonna help with this transmission?
No.
So this might have been a rookie mistake, but we also have never done this before. So I figured we'd just share it with you guys because it sucks right now. So we were wondering why the transmission won't go down any further so that we can drop it out.
Now, we haven't been sitting here forever doing it. We just got it down to this point, and it won't go any lower. And it won't go any lower because this transmission thing, it's all the way down. This is as low as we can get. We lost 8 inches here of being able to lower the transmission. I don't know if it would have cleared. We might have gone straight out the back.
Maybe I'll put like a Craigslist ad for 20 people to come over here and help pick up the Humvee so that we can get the transmission out. I'm over it. My dad left a few hours ago, and there's no way I was going to sleep without figuring out how to get this thing out. So back at it again. We've got the whole transmission out. We're getting everything ready to go. But today, the one thing we wanted to do is get the fuel tank and drop it. But we needed to get a lot of the diesel out of there. And we're working around some ideas, but we don't know how many gallons of fuel is still left in there because the gauge is broken because we need to get to the top of it. So this previously had a diesel heater and that was up top, and it had a little priming pump below. And so what we did is use the old line. You can hear the pump going right now. And so we're using that pump to go ahead and pump out the diesel tank. Good work. So this is the old flywheel out with the old one. You can see right here, there's where it's starting to eat into it a little bit. So while we're in there, it's only in that one spot, but since we're in there, it was just a smart thing to do. It's only 50 bucks for this other one. So out with the old, in with the new. Oh man, I'm looking rough. I feel like, well, I guess I haven't showered in a couple days. Some of our favorite people are back. It's more of like a little father-son party right now. We've got Mike and his dad. They came back to help us get this thing in there and hang out for a few days. So let's hope we can start this off right by getting this monster back up in there. So after struggling for at least a solid hour to get the transmission and the transfer case up there, we finally got it in. But then just to come to realize that the drive shaft did not fit. So we have to get a custom drive shaft. So we decided to just take the rest of the night off. This is the pre-wired wiring harness that I got from my buddy Mike Vaden at Black Dog Customs. And yes, you can do this yourself, but it is obviously a lot of tedious work. And he's already done all the hard work for you with this, and it speeds up the process significantly. He's got it all ready to go. This is for the 4L80 with the V-belt drive like we have set up. And he even has really detailed instructions that do come with this as well. So you can even see, I mean, he's got pages, he's got all the pictures, he's got all the parts that you need in order to make this happen, and really goes through the whole process. So we just finished the wiring, and that was by far the easiest part of this whole transmission swap. We are able to just get it right in, plug it right into the transmission. It goes to a US shift module that sits behind the passenger seat, and then it has a sending unit that goes up to the throttle position sensor, which you swap out with the mechanical one with this new electronic one. So it's really straightforward, super easy. I'd highly recommend it. It'll save you a ton of headaches. And yeah, so the next step is now we got to go test it and make sure this thing works, which is kind of scary. So anyways, let's go do it. So far so good. Reverse works. All right, so third gear I'm at 50 miles an hour, no problem. Fourth gear, 60. And it's just cruising. It's not nearly as loud as it was or running as hard because I'm not running at 3,500 RPMs. And now I'm just cruising at 70 miles an hour, like no problem. So far so good. I mean, this thing's driving so good. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am right now that everything is working good. I think we put everything back together right. That's always a good sign, but yeah, I don't know. So now I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the shop. It seems to be shifting through all the gears just fine. And I'm just excited, super excited. I'm so glad that we made this switch. It was definitely a hassle. I want to say we probably have 40 to 50 hours, honestly, into this transmission swap. There's a lot of work that had to go into it. So thanks to everybody that helped out with it. And yeah, I'm just so stoked that I did this, and I highly recommend it. If you have a 3-speed Humvee, go ahead and do the switch to the 4L80. Make sure you reach out to Mike from Black Dog Customs and let him know that we sent you. And anyways, that's it for this week. Here's a little fast sneak preview of what's coming up. I'll give you a quick shot. Oh, that's it.